Alright guys, welcome back to part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, be sure to go check it out. I'll show you the list of the programs that we're going to be using for this. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I also sent this truck in a link. Go ahead and download this truck. We're going to go ahead and open it up. Let's go ahead and look at it. So what we're going to start off doing is we're going to start taking parts from this truck and going back to Blender with it and putting it back together and throwing our textures in it. This episode here, we're going to start by taking all the body and we're going to put it in object form. That way we could get our textures back on it and get it back into Blender and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead, we'll click the body. Let me move these lights out of the way so I don't select one of these lights. So go ahead and select a part of the body. Let's move this over. And then what you're going to want to do is hold shift down and click other parts. So right now we're going to take all the cab. So go ahead and while you're holding shift down, click everything. If you'll notice right here, this ain't selected or this trim ain't selected. That's because we're going to go with a different color, so don't select those. Now if you want the truck to, I'm going to put this truck to have a pinstripe going down it. So I'm going to leave that unselected because I'm going to do its own texture. But if you want to go ahead and select it, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we select everything, even in the back here. Make sure I don't select anything else that is not needed. Take a good look. I think that's everything for the cap that I want the body to throw textures on for the body. Actually, we got this part here. Sorry if I kind of cough a little bit. I'm a little bit sick, so I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and, as you can see, I got all the cab that I want for my body texture. So what we're going to do is going to go up here. We're going to go to File. We're going to go to Export Section. I'm going to go back to my desktop and I'm going to find where this truck is, which is here, the loose body. And I'm just going to put, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just naming it body. And then we're going to select this save as type and we're going to go to .obj file. And we're going to save it. And as you can see, it's in the folder with the loose body. Now if you wanted to, you can go ahead and come over here, make a folder. Let's go ahead and name it Chevy 1500 because that's what it is. Let's go ahead and open this up. And what I like to do normally is I'll make two folders in here. I'll name that one, and I'll have a new one folder. And I'll name this one textures. And then I'll take all these and I'll save them into here. That way I can keep track of them all. So back in here, we've got all the cab done. Now let's go grab the body back here. We're going to leave the tailgate alone. That's going to be its own separate mesh because we're going to want that to go up and down. So let's go ahead and select that. Just make sure we get in between this cab. There we go. Let's go ahead and select that up there. Do the same on this side. Make sure that's okay. So we got the outer side of the bed. We still got our pinstripe down here. The top of this, I'm not going to worry about doing because that's going to be a different color. I'm going to paint that black. So let's make sure we got everything that we need. Okay. don't want to. It's okay if you like, if you forget to select this one right here and you go back into Blender, you could come back and you could take this one part and import it into whatever you're working on, which I'll show you that in a later episode. So we got all that. Let's go ahead, File, Export Selection. We're going to go to Desktop, and we're going to find our Chevy 1500, and then we're going to go into Object. We're going to name this Bed Siding. We'll just name it that, because that's the bed side, because we still got to do all the inside here. Now this is what's going to take the most time if you want to do it right, because as you can see, all these are its own little piece. So all you got to do is just go in. There's the bottom. I selected the whole bottom mesh. Let's go ahead and hold shift. Let's go ahead and grab all this. Grab that one, grab that one, that one, that one. Go ahead and grab the Go ahead and grab this in the corner over here. Go ahead and grab everything over here. Just remember to hold shift down while you're grabbing all this stuff. Let's go ahead and grab that. Grab this corner. I don't think this corner grabbed like that. Let's go ahead and grab that. Grab up there. Grab up there. So there's going to be a bunch of this going back and forth like this. Excuse me. To Giants i3D and then to Blender. If you want it done right, it's going to take the most time. So let's go ahead and select everything up here. And as you can see, the outer side didn't select, so you gotta go up here. You're gonna have to select all that. Now that we got all that, let's go ahead and let's go File, Export the selection. We're gonna name it Inside, no space, Bed. And we're gonna save that. Now we're gonna take a step back and we're going to look at the trim here. Let's go ahead and select that. As you can see, there's two pieces to this. So we're going to select that one, hold shift, select the other one, select that one, that one. Doing this all by holding shift. Shift, shift. And then we're going to come back over here, hold shift. Okay, now we got all the pinstripe for the cab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this out. Pin cab. We're going to save that. Now let's get it for the bed. Now if you select something, like say I hit that and I didn't want that, all you got to do is just click it again and unselect while holding shift. Alright, I think I got all the pinstriping for the bed that I want to take. So we'll go ahead and we'll File, Export. We'll hit Pin, Bed. We're going to save that. Now we're going to go back to the cab again. And your trim for the doors, the hood, all that good stuff. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take all this trimming, even around the window. I want to go ahead and grab all this. Now some of the parts are going to be hard to see, so there we go. Let's go over here. Let's go ahead and select that. Get all the pinstriping. go ahead and get this stuff around the window. Whoops. Like I said, it's going to take time. Just take your time with it and okay, now we got all that. Let's go ahead and get all this black around these windows. Like I said, guys, it's going to take time to do this, but in the long run, it's well worth it. There we go. Make sure I get all this selected. Let's go back over here. Make sure I got all that. Now, I'm not going to mess with the mirrors because I might change up these mirrors. So I'm not going to mess with them right now. I'll let y'all guys decide what y'all want to see. I mean, the bed, we could leave the bed on here, or we could convert this truck into a 3/4 ton. Or a 1 ton, I'm sorry. It's all up to you. But my goal is to in-game this truck with y'all following along. So let's go ahead and let's go File, Export, and let's name this Black Trim, and we're going to save that out. Now that's all you got to do within this is just go ahead and everything that you see, like say the chrome here, you're going to want to take everything that's chrome. We'll see that the bumper's chrome. If we were going to use the mirrors, if you wanted the mirrors chrome, you take that. But the bed is going to be its own separate deal, so don't mix the front with the bed. I found it easier to work with just doing the cab all together and then the bed all together, because later on you can change the bed if you want to on the truck. So what I do is I'll take everything from the front end, from the cab, I'll do all this, and then I'll do the bed separate, just because we don't want to mix those up, so we could take that bed off and switch it for a flat bed or a dually bed or anything else that you want to throw on the back of it. So keep that in mind when you're pulling these back into Blender, because we will be joining the model, the cab and the hood and the fenders all back together in Blender, so the file's not so big. But I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to let y'all finish this up. If you have any questions, I'll put my email down in the description. That way y'all could send me an email if y'all have any questions. But go ahead and make sure you have all your parts together in .object file. That way when we go to Blender, we could throw them all together. So that's going to do it for this video. I will see you on the next one. It should be up tomorrow or later today. So just be watching.